The world market price for wool has been depressed for more than 3 years, so there's little financial incentive for Virginia producers to pay a crew to shear their sheep. As a result, only about a third of Virginia's 85,000 head of sheep are sheared each year. But after more than 50 years in the sheep business, Alvin Thomas of Buckingham County is still going strong. He currently owns about 40 head of sheep and lambs.
Most of the sheep in this area are switching over to hair sheep as opposed to wool sheep. But the better quality lambs come from the wool sheep. Some of the wool breeds have better body conformation, better muscle structure. And there's a high demand for 4-H and FFA project lambs. They like to buy lambs when they're like 75 pounds and then feed them for 90 days to 100 days and then sell them when they're 125 to 140 pounds through some type of 4-H or FFA livestock show.
Thomas says most of the wool from Central Virginia is sent to Ohio to be baled into cubes and sold around the world. As the tradition and market for wool has declined, it's becoming more difficult for producers to afford the necessary gear to shear their own flocks. A shearing equipment collector himself, Thomas says buying all new equipment could cost a beginning shearer close to $5,000, and it takes time and practice to learn this specialized skill.
This method of shearing sheep is called the Australian method, where the sheep shearer holds and shears his own sheep. Not assisted by, in some methods, people will shear them and lay them up on a table and tie their feet and so forth, but this is Australian method. I know in the New River Valley, a tremendous amount of switch over to hair sheep simply because they don't have enough people that are interested in shearing sheep. And so getting sheep shearers to come into a region that has just a small number of sheep. At one time there was enough sheep in Buckingham County the wool would probably fill half of a tractor and trailer, and now you can haul all the wool in Buckingham County on the back of a pickup truck.
Thomas says the world market price for fine wool has been depressed for 3 years because sheep farmers in Australia and New Zealand stockpiled their excess wool and created a supply backlog. Since he doesn't get much money for his wool, Thomas now raises sheep as a sideline to his cattle business. And he's found a new market for his lambs with local 4-H and Future Farmers of America students.
This is a very economical, a very safe project for 4-H and FFA kids. They can have it for 90 to 100 days and be in and out of the business. It's not a long-term project, but they still learn the responsibility to take care of an animal, breaking them and caring for them, and have that agricultural experience without spending a lot of money. If you get in the horse project, or if you get into a cow project or show steer, you can tie up several $1,000s real quickly and then and not have a way to recapture that money. And also there's always the possibility, the liability of getting hurt. It's pretty hard to get hurt, handling a show lamb that weighs 100 pounds.
Sheep are an economical and viable livestock option for Virginia farmers who have pastures not suitable for cattle. They will graze on just about any type of grass, everything except bull thistle. The cooler climate near the mountains of Virginia is also ideal for sheep production. And the market for lamb meat continues to grow, especially in urban areas with large immigrant populations. On the negative side, predators like coyotes can destroy a farmer's flock over time. So there are plenty of challenges for sheep farmers like Thomas. But he's hoping Virginians will see flocks of sheep out in the pasture for many years to come. In Buckingham County, this is Dave Miller.